The snow is melted, and is this garden ruined? Hi, I'm Michelle from JMC Family Farms. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can prep your garden even if it looks like this so that it's ready for planting season. If you're like me, time seems to just slip away. There's always way too many things to do and there's never enough time. If you followed me for a while, you would remember that last fall I was planting garlic in the snow. And plus, I have a few distractions that always just seem to get my attention sometimes.
This garden should have been cleared of all these squash vines, the tomato plants, and even the bean plants that were left here last fall. Compost and manure really should have been added to this garden before the snow fell, and I should have even really planted a cover crop as well, but this didn't happen and it's totally okay. We can't change the past, so we just have to start fresh. Now I need to clear all of these weeds and all the dead plants that were left over. Every year I try to do something different in the garden just to make it better, or I hope it makes it better anyway. Last year I did use logs and branches around that no-till section just so that we were sure we didn't disturb that area.
If you're wondering what a no-till or no-dig garden is, make sure you check out the video on your screen right now. In that particular video, I was making a garden just for sunflowers, but it's very similar to this garden that I made up in this area that we plant vegetables in. So make sure you check out the video on your screen. Because the horses are right here, that's why this orange fence is up here. Part of it is to try to keep some animals from coming into the garden and also from the horses sticking their faces through here to try to eat what's in the garden. But what I wanted to show you was I had put straw all along the edge of this fence line last year to help with the weeds and the grass and that sort of thing. So that's what it looks like right now. Those bare spots, the chickens have been back here because it's not completely closed off right now. But you can see it really did help control some of those weeds and grass growing through. Like there is some still.
This year I'm going to use these wood chips along the fence line, and I'm using these because we already have them on our property. So I like to try to reuse as many things as possible.
In a no-till garden, once the old weeds and crops and all of that sort of stuff is all cleared away, you just add some compost to the top and that's it. It's so easy to do. The principle behind this method is try to not disturb the soil as much as possible. So you're just layering compost or soil on top of what's already there. You're really just trying to mimic Mother Nature.
My ideas don't always work out as planned, but I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. I added the wood chips around the garden, and I also then put thin pieces of wood, and it's just from firewood that we have in our yard. So I think it's made the pathways look super cute.
If you're going to plant a garden this year, have a look around your yard and see where are you going to plant this garden? Are you going to use pots? Are you going to have a traditional garden, raised beds? Have a look around your property and see where you think would be the best place. Make sure that you pick a really nice sunny location. And don't forget that you do have to water your garden, so make sure that you either have access to water or that you can have a hose that will get to your garden. So I've decided in this space right here around me that I'm gonna add an extra garden here. I have the space, so I thought, why not just use it? So what I need to do is I need to till this area, I need to add some compost, water it, and then I'm gonna put a tarp on top of it. The tarp then needs to sit for approximately 4 weeks. I don't know if I'm gonna leave it that long just because I'm already into May, I'm running out of time, but I'm gonna try it anyway. Just make sure if you do use a tarp that you secure the sides very well because you don't want that tarp to blow away into your neighbor's field or onto the road. So just make sure that you secure the tarp really well with something. I'll keep you posted if this actually works. The process itself is called occultation, and the principle behind it is it's supposed to reduce the number of weeds that are growing. So we'll see if it actually works. I'll show you the results before I start to plant anything, just so that you can see if it works for me and if it would be worth trying for yourself. The rest of this garden is just a traditional tilled garden. So we've removed all the weeds, we've added a layer of manure. Manure that we use is a combination of horse manure, rabbit manure, and chicken manure. We have a ton of manure. So we need to do something with it, and it's great to use in the garden. If you don't have your own animals at home, you can either buy compost or manure at a garden center, so that's no problem at all. The only thing to remember that if you do have your own animals at home, don't ever put fresh manure on your garden. It needs to sit for at least 3 to 4 months before you would put it on your garden. So for me, this garden will be ready. It's gonna sit for about 3 to 4 more weeks until the risk of frost is over, and then I'll be able to plant my seedlings or my seeds right in the garden. The final thing for the garden is just to put the fence up around the garden. I've just used a combination of different fencing that we already have, and it's just really to deter animals. I'm hoping that my chickens will stay out of here this year because I ended up having to replant the garden twice last year because they ate my seedlings. So hopefully this is going to help this year. If you're wondering how to get a head start on your garden this year, make sure you check out the video on your screen right now. In that video, I'm going to show you how you can start some seeds right in containers that you would normally be putting in your recycling bin. So make sure you check out that video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.